Imagine standing in the heart of Central Asia, a peaceful land full of rich culture, breathtaking tourist attractions, and deep history. A land that has always been desired by great empires. A place where battles were fought to conquer it. A country with warm-hearted people and a culture deeply rooted in history. Welcome to Uzbekistan. Once, Uzbekistan was the main artery of the Islamic world. Samarkand, the Pearl of the East, and Bukhara, the beating heart of Islamic power. Great scholars like Avicenna, Ibn Sina, and Al-Khwarizmi were born and raised in this very civilization. Here, cities still smell like history, especially from the Timurid era, when some of the world's greatest and most magnificent cities stood on this land. Even today, Uzbeks consider Amir Timur, Tamerlane, the most important figure in their history, the leader who saved their nation from the Mongols. During his reign, grand madrasas, Islamic schools, were built. One of the most famous is the Ulugh Beg Madrasa in Samarkand, the first madrasa in the region, now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Uzbekistan, officially known as the Republic of Uzbekistan, is one of 7 independent Turkic-speaking countries that gained independence after the fall of the Soviet Union in 1991. From 1924 to 1991, it was under Soviet rule, which heavily influenced its culture and lifestyle. Yet Uzbeks managed to preserve their language, identity, and beliefs. Located in Central Asia, Uzbekistan borders Turkmenistan and Afghanistan to the south, Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan to the east, and Kazakhstan to the west. The country covers an area of about 447,000 square kilometers. The climate here is continental and dry, very little rainfall, with deserts and mountains covering most of the land. Uzbekistan is a landlocked country with no access to the sea, only rivers and lakes. One of the most famous, the Aral Sea, was once the 4th largest lake in the world, but has mostly dried up due to human intervention in the 1960s. The capital, Tashkent, was the 4th largest city in the Soviet Union after Moscow, St. Petersburg, and Kyiv. Today, with a population of around 3.5 million, it's the most populated city in Central Asia. The official language is Uzbek, but Russian is widely spoken. In cities like Samarkand and Bukhara, people also speak Tajik. Interestingly, if you speak Turkish or Azeri, you'll find it quite easy to communicate with locals. Religiously, over 90% of Uzbeks are Sunni Muslims, but religion is not enforced here. People enjoy freedom in dress and beliefs. Despite what some might assume due to its proximity to Afghanistan, Uzbekistan is actually one of the safest countries in the region. Once you enter this country, the first things that grab your attention are the covered bazaars, historic buildings, and the smell of fresh bread. In the markets, you'll find large clay ovens baking traditional Uzbek bread, made with care and high nutritional value. But it's not just bread. Uzbekistan is a country where meat plays a huge role in local cuisine. Uzbeks even proudly call themselves the rice capital of the world. Restaurants start cooking their famous Uzbek pilaf, early in the morning, a delicious dish made with lamb and a variety of ingredients. The climate here is continental and dry, very little rainfall, with deserts and mountains covering most of the land. Uzbekistan is a landlocked country with no access to the sea, only rivers and lakes. One of the most famous, the Aral Sea, was once the 4th largest lake in the world, but has mostly dried up due to human intervention in the 1960s. The capital, Tashkent, was the 4th largest city in the Soviet Union after Moscow, St. Petersburg, and Kyiv. Today, with a population of around 3.5 million, it's the most populated city in Central Asia. The official language is Uzbek, but Russian is widely spoken. In cities like Samarkand and Bukhara, people also speak Tajik. Interestingly, if you speak Turkish or Azeri, you'll find it quite easy to communicate with locals. There are 3 essential components in almost every meal here: bread, rice, and lots of meat. And just like in Iran, tea is an inseparable part of daily life. Because meat consumption is high, the price of meat is very reasonable. If you visit the markets, you'll notice that the cost of living in Uzbekistan is quite low. One charming part of visiting the bazaars is how vendors kindly invite you to taste their products. Try it. If you like it, then buy it. The people here are truly hospitable and friendly. No trip to Uzbekistan is complete without visiting Samarkand, a city with 3,500 years of history, which was the capital during the Timurid Empire and a hub of knowledge and culture along the Silk Road. From Samarkand, you can easily take a 2-hour train ride to Bukhara, one of the most beautiful tourist destinations in Central Asia. Bukhara is over 2,000 years old and was, for around 7 centuries, the greatest center of Islamic theology, science, and Sufism. One of Bukhara's most iconic landmarks is the Kalyan Minaret, built in the 12th century, which has withstood all kinds of historical events and still stands tall today. The cities of Tashkent, Samarkand, and Bukhara are lively at night. While dining at restaurants, you'll often enjoy traditional Uzbek music and dances. In recent years, Uzbekistan has started opening up more to the world. You'll now find branches of international brands in major cities. Even alcohol consumption is allowed in designated places. If you're a fan of historical spaces, you shouldn't miss Khiva. This city is like a living museum, so well preserved that you barely see any modern buildings. In Khiva, many artists craft and sell handmade goods, especially the world-famous Uzbek hand-woven carpets. Uzbekistan is also one of the largest gold producers in the world. In addition to gold, the country has rich resources of uranium, oil, gas, and coal. Its fertile lands produce major exports like cotton and wheat. Despite having these valuable resources, a significant portion of the population still faces economic challenges, which has led many young Uzbeks to migrate to Europe or the US. However, since the collapse of the Soviet Union, Uzbekistan has been on a path of growth and improvement. The currency is the Uzbek Som, UZS. The average basic salary is around $320, and with a regular job, you can earn about $500 per month. One interesting thing you'll notice on the streets is that most cars are Chevrolets. Due to high import taxes, General Motors has set up a factory in Uzbekistan, making Chevrolet the most affordable car brand here. As a result, roads are filled with Chevrolets. Also, because of the low population density relative to its size, the streets are wide and buildings are constructed with plenty of space between them. In Tashkent, the metro system is a major part of urban transportation. Opened in 1977, it was the first subway system in Central Asia. If you plan to visit, remember that summers are extremely hot, so the best seasons to travel are spring and autumn. Much of the country is covered by deserts and mountains, where locals still maintain their traditional lifestyles. Horseback riding and archery are common, and yes, horse meat is a part of their cuisine. In summary, Uzbekistan is an amazing country for tourism, full of culture and history. However, If you're thinking about immigrating for a high-paying job, it might not be the best option. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Goodbye.